Hello, everybody. Today I am super excited because I have Kimberly with me. Kimberly has been working with me with her family and her daughter to help them sort of reduce their child's symptoms naturally. And she has done such an amazing job. And I really wanted to get her on here today to really just talk about her journey, because for me, honestly, when you see other people and what they've been through and what they're going through, it really does help to guide you. When I was going through this with my son, I didn't have that guide. I didn't have anyone to look to know if I was going in the right direction or not. And so that's why I love to be able to share other people's stories as well. So hi, Kimberly, how are you?
Hi, Donna. I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I am super good. Thank you so much for doing this, and taking your time to just talk with me about, what's been going on with you guys. And so I think let's just launch in and really, tell me a little bit about your story. Why did you join my program, and what were you struggling with? Tell me about your journey up until that point.
Sure, absolutely. I have a 9-year-old daughter who I think around age 4, we started to see that she was different. We learned at that age from the pediatrician that she was sensitive to artificial colors, flavors, preservatives. We cut those out. Saw some changes with that, but not significant enough. And then
Yeah.
about 2 years ago, we hired a psychologist to do neuropsychological and
Don't worry about the Bing.
evaluation.
That's fine. Oh, good.
A neuropsychological evaluation,
Yep.
and she was diagnosed with ADHD and autism spectrum disorder mild.
Mhm.
And as with many parents, we were recommended to go to a psychiatrist for medication and a therapist and buy all these books. And of course, we did the therapy, we bought the books, and nothing seemed to really be working.
Mhm.
I have always been passionate that I did not want my child on medications. I'm actually a social worker.
Mhm.
And just in my previous experience in my careers working inpatient, outpatient mental health facilities, I really felt like it was throwing darts at a dartboard, and I didn't want that for my child. And
Yeah.
I felt like there has to be another way. And I think I found you through someone mentioning you on another Facebook page that I was on. And so the reason we sought out your program was we felt like we were at rock bottom, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. We were dealing with a child with severe mood dysregulation, verbally impulsive, turning our whole family upside down, sleep issues, hyperactivity, inattentiveness, disorganization.
Oh.
The mood instability seemed to be worsening, not getting any better. Just going into 4th grade, I felt like we only had a certain amount of time to figure it out before
Oh.
expectations became more for her as time went on with school. And
Yeah. I know it's like that journey, isn't it? Of like you do what you're told and you go to your doctor and you follow them because they're the experts. But you get to this point, and I know that this was the case for me with my son, where I would literally just wake up every morning dreading what mood he would be in. And his mood ran our family. And by the sounds of it, it was the same for you.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah. And
dreading
it
the day.
stops you from doing things that you want to do as a family. And, you want to get to this point where like it just shouldn't be that daily struggle. So, yeah. Did you end up starting medication, or you were just like, no, we don't want to do it? And that's when you started searching?
That's a great question. No, we never did it. We did have a therapist who was not a believer in going by diagnoses
That's amazing.
or
Yep.
medicating. And it got
Yep.
to the point at the end of our journey with her where she suggested medication.
Yep.
So that's how extreme it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And so before you joined, started working with me, were there sort of any barriers or, fears or reservations you had to overcome? I know, because like I'm just some random woman on the internet when you think about it.
Oh, absolutely. It was a complete leap of faith. we looked you up. We listened to podcasts that you had done. We read articles. We saw the write-up in Forbes, and I think had 2 phone conversations with you because you were a complete stranger. We had no idea really how much nutrition could play a role in mental health, in behavioral issues. It was a complete leap of faith.
No, and I get it. I totally get it. I think it's funny now because usually in the past we would go to, a local doctor or a local practitioner and you get to see them face to face. But there's, especially with what the world's been going through right now, there's it's all online. And so it is changing that mentality as well. And I totally understand all of those fears. So how did you overcome those fears? Was it, what was that sort of deciding factor of we've got to do this?
I think the conversations that we had with you, you were very patient in answering all the questions we had. I read from the Facebook page about other parents' experiences and what that was like for them. So just hearing from other parents and knowing that they had gone through your program, that was reassuring for me as well. I think talking to and getting to know you and understanding what the program entails, what it's about, what we should expect was extremely helpful.
Yeah, no, that's good to know. Now we all know, there are definitely ongoing challenges when you do have a child with ADHD. What are some of those challenges that you had to overcome when going through the program? Things like, I don't know, picky eating or, all of those things. How did you overcome those challenges?
I think the biggest challenge for us was just trying to anticipate how we were going to get her to buy into the program and still make her feel normal. She was a kid that had already not been allowed to have certain candy and go trick-or-treating. And, she'd have to trade in her candy for more natural things. So she already felt different. So we didn't want her to feel even more different. Yeah. So just anticipating what struggles she might have and being prepared. So, if we had family events or gatherings with friends, we would just coordinate and find out what they were serving and try and match it. But surprisingly, her child's extremely bright. So all my concerns were not even relevant. She really stepped up to the plate. She was able to understand, wow, this is really going to help my mind and body. Okay, I'm willing to give it a try. And she trusted us, which was amazing.
Very much amazing. And when you do have that slightly older child as well, getting their buy-in is so important. And, obviously what we teach in the program is them to become aware of their body feelings, what's going on inside and how that food will affect their body. And when they understand that, that's huge because you do get that buy-in. Have you run into any situations where when you've gone to families or birthday parties, have they become challenges for you or have you been able to navigate them successfully?
We've been able to navigate them successfully. We've bought food at times before this. So it was really just tweaking what we had been doing and having conversations with her before, during, and after. And she's been very responsive. That's always alternatives.
Yeah, there is always alternatives. I know, exactly. So tell me, what changes have you seen in her? What are the successes that you've seen? I mean, that's the most exciting part, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I'm going to try not to get emotional on you, but it has blown my mind. I am getting to see my true child after 9 years. I don't say that lightly. She's happier. She plays with her younger sister for hours on end. In the past, she would last 5 minutes before having a tantrum or just removing herself because it was too much stimulation and going in her room and reading. She doesn't tire as easily. She can walk or run or ride her bike and not complain that things hurt or she's tired. Her sleep is starting to improve. she looked me in the eye as we sung happy birthday to her and maintained eye contact for an extensive amount of time and was smiling. And it was a smile I had never seen before. I mean, it was a genuinely happy smile. The other day, we were sitting on the couch watching a movie, and she literally sat next to me. Her body was up against me. She doesn't like physical contact. And she shared a blanket with me for the first time in her life.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I asked her if she feels differently. I shared some of my observations. And again, she is super bright, and super insightful too. She said she feels happier and more mindful. Those were her words.
For a child that age to say she feels more mindful, but even like happier, that is like really at the end of the day, that's all we want as parents, isn't it?
It's all we ever want. Yeah.
That's amazing.
My parents have seen the changes. Friends have seen the changes. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I literally got goosebumps up my arms right now. Oh my God, that's so amazing, Kim. And I know like your journey is like still going, but just to even already see that, like, how long have you been in the program for?
I believe it's maybe just shy of 2 months.
That's ridiculous. Like that is like to have those changes in just 2 months. It's amazing.
It's a completely different personality. I was joining the program with the intention of or the goal of improving her mood, regulating her mood, hopefully working on her attention and focus. Those were my biggest things. And maybe her like verbal impulsivity.
Yeah.
Never in a million years did I think I would see the changes I'm seeing. I just didn't even think it was possible. I mean, we're 9 years. I've never seen this.
It's like amazing. And it's all everything that you've implemented. You know, you are the one that has done this for her. And she is so lucky to have you, because it is like, you know, yeah, it's my program, but I am not the one there every day. You know, I'm not the one that's doing this. And you've done that for her. And, you know, that it is so amazing. Now, if you look back to before starting, or think about when you were just even starting your journey, when she was 4, what's sort of that one piece of advice that you would give someone at that point, just starting this journey?
I wish I knew about this program when she was 4. Take the leap of faith, stay true to your beliefs, stay true to yourself, your values. You know, I never went along with what someone else was suggesting. I always went with my gut and what I believed was best for my child. And I always said, since she was born, she wasn't always an infant either, but I always said, I wish I had a handbook. I wish I had someone telling me what to do, almost like a guide. And with this program, I 100% found it. I mean, there's no stone left unturned. There really isn't. The support is unbelievable. And I would just tell parents, take that leap of faith. Just listen to other parents who have gone through the program. It works. Your heart is definitely in the right place. I mean, you are completely authentic, and really, truly take the time with every single parent. That's what I would tell someone.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. I know I actually was being interviewed on a podcast last night, and they're like, what's one piece of advice? They said the same question to me. They're like, what's one piece of advice you'd give someone? You know, it was more about starting business. And I'm like, go with your gut. Like, you know best. And so you know your child best. If it doesn't seem right, sitting in front of a doctor that's handing you that medication, go with your gut. Look, you know, I'm a proponent of like, there is a time and place for medication, so I'm not totally against it, but that doctor should be handing you this guidebook as the first port of call. So if that's what you feels in your gut, then go with it. So Kim, I love that you actually said go with your gut, because that's exactly what I said yesterday.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you for just taking the time doing this. Like, as I said, when I was going through this, I didn't have this. And this is why I've created this, because this is what families with kids with ADHD need. And they need that hand holding. They need that guide to really just take them on that journey. And that journey does look different for different people, and that's okay. But Kim, I take my hat off to you. You have done amazing things for her, and she's reaping the benefit from it, and that's all on you. So keep it up. And I look forward just to seeing even the next 2 months where you're going to end up, because if you've already come this far, just think about what there's more to see. So good on you. Thank you so much for taking your time. And I'll talk to you soon.
Great. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.